Okay. Uh, this is such an odd issue. So this webcam angle works. My digital SLR is now working, but then I lost my face on the monitor. Whatever. I can't fix all the problems. But at least this is functioning again. So that's kind of all that really matters to me. Is I'm just trying to get stuff to function kind of normal at this point. So normal's almost an irrelevant topic at this point because what's relevant I don't really know. So I am trying to do some cable management while we're watching the printer do its test print. Because again, like I said, I'm trying to tidy up a lot of the loose ends that I have on a lot of the stuff that's going on my workbench. So, and cable management is one of them because this rig was kind of just slapped together temporarily as a concept that has turned into, hey, I can actually do this, so let's do it. So okay, it printed all four. It's a little boogery. I don't hate it. Let's try changing some settings. So I need to move you this a little bit because I need this tablet. So what I'm doing is I'm changing angles with the tablet in an app for Streamlabs. It's actually kind of cool. So now I want to do PC capture. So we are going to go back to Kira, and what I'm looking for is vase mode. So VAS or vase, VASE. I could have sworn there was a setting for cylindrical items that allowed you to turn on. Okay, I'm just gonna have to do this manually. Thought it was at the bottom under experimental, if my memory is correct. No, there's not. That's weird. Okay, spiral outer contour. That's what I was looking for. So this smooths out the Z, which will create a steady Z increase over the whole print. This feature turns a solid model into a single-walled print with a solid bottom. This feature would only be enabled if each layer contains a single part. Wait a minute. Is this not what I'm looking for? Smooths out the Z move to the outer edge. This will create a steady Z increase over the whole print. This feature turns a solid model into a single wall print with a solid bottom. What? Let's see what this looks like. Because this may not be what I'm looking for. Slice. Now let's go to preview. Yeah, so that's not what I want because it's going to hollow out the whole thing. So that's not what I want. So let's turn that back off. causes mold. Okay, that's not what I want. Surface mode. Treats a model as a surface only, volume or volume with boost surfaces, normal prints, surface prints, mesh. No. It's not what I want. That's not what I want. Nope. Don't have dual extruders, so that's not even going to be an option. Nope, nope. I don't think it's a cooling issue, but I also don't need the fan. So I don't even know why that was turned on, left on. Especially for PLA. You don't need a fan. That's dumb. We'll leave that off. Travel. Hey, Universe Edits. What's going on? And by the way, thanks for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it. Slow jerk. Nope, nope, nope. I'm looking for VOS or base mode, which the outer, it rotates the starting point basically, and it rotates it around. I don't know if they might have taken it out of Cura. I don't think it's an infill. It shouldn't be a top and bottom. It'd be in the walls. Z-seam relative. Enable Z-seam coordinates are relative to each part. This disabled coordinates defined. Z-seam. No. Z-seam on vertex. Place a Z-seam on a polygon vertex. Switch this off. Place the seam between vertices as well. Keep in mind that this won't override the restrictions. Okay. Z-seam alignment is random. Probably is what I'm looking for. Let's go ahead and turn all of that back off. Let's slice it, and we're gonna print this, and we're gonna see if this works. So let's check. So yeah, it's moving the Z-seam all over. So that's what I was looking for. Okay, so that's good. So let's go ahead and print, and we'll see if this works. So we'll switch you back over to the SLR camera. Actually, I need to adjust this a little bit. So let me get this down. We're going to tilt up a little bit. And we're going to zoom in. Focus. Somewhere about right there. That looks good. Check out the webcam angle. Make sure it's still functioning. And it is. So everything is, stream-wise, is finally functioning like it's supposed to, which is awesome. So we are getting somewhere. First print went good. I'm happy with the quality of the print. You know what? Let's throw these away. Like I don't question the integrity of it. I'm just trying to make this a little bit more streamlined and what looks pleasing. Hey T, what's going on? I was just talking about you, actually. First test print went good. Started over. Took a single item, like you suggested, and multiplied it by 3 to get 4 items total. Printed them on the center of the bed. Everything went fantastic. Did not level the bed. Didn't even touch it. Just walked away, turned the machine on, did a test. Test came out okay. So now I did the first test, and that's it there. So things happened. It's a little. It's got an issue kind of in the middle of the print that it kind of bulged out for some reason. And I think it was the fan that turned on, so I turned the fan off because I'm printing PLA, so I shouldn't even need the stupid fan to begin with. So I turned it off, and then I was looking for vase mode, or Voss mode, however you want to pronounce it, but I don't like how it's got the seam where every single Z-hop, it starts and stops at the same location. So now we're printing 4 more with the updated settings, and we're going to see how well this comes out. So, and I got the tablet working too. So bought a tablet, it showed up, and now I can change scenes from a tablet remotely anywhere, which is actually freaking amazing. It's actually kind of cool. So yeah, so this is my stream deck basically. Scenes are scening, and I'm not putting music back on because I've hit way too many copyright infringement issues because of Spotify said it was royalty-free music, but I guess YouTube doesn't distinguish and accept royalty-free music from Spotify. I don't know. I don't ask questions. I just know that I got dinged with like 100 and some copyright infringements, so whatever. But yeah, things are going pretty good. The dog's in for surgery today, so I will be leaving here in about a half hour to go get the poor pupper. Everything went okay. There's still some concerns with him having cancer, so that's not going to be cheap if that's the case. So I can't afford to do that. I mean, the surgery he just had was over $700, so, and it's all for a stray dog basically that we've inherited and probably is going to end up keeping because my wife has a soft spot for. It's a trauma response because she's a breast cancer survivor, so she's drawn to this dog because unfortunately he's had a rough life and possibly is fighting cancer as well, so she doesn't want to give up on the dog. I get it. I'm not arguing, so I just know that we can't afford it. So, but yeah, so we're just testing some settings and testing some things out. Switch you back to the webcam. I know you can't see hardly anything. I don't know why today seems awful dark. Oh, and it's like 70 degrees outside today, which is stupid warm for this time of year. And I don't know why. Like, I know there's risk of tornadoes in my area today too, so that's not going to help. So, tomorrow is going to be like 40 degrees. Yay! Wintertime, gotta love it. Honestly, you're probably not. Well, I don't really have anything to block. I mean, I have white. I'll throw this box up here, see if this don't help. It does look awful dark. Like, you guys can't see hardly anything. For some reason. I think it's the bed. I really do. I mean, it might have made that a little bit brighter for you to see. I don't know. Don't know. Yeah, but I can't move the camera. So, and I bet that's probably what it is. It's the light. It's the light. It's actually the light above me. Hold on, let me turn it off. I mean, I don't mind trying to figure it out because it ain't gonna affect that too much, and it's not. I don't care sitting in the dark because it ain't gonna change anything either. I mean, it is what it is. That's not much better. And this angle, you can't see anything because the print's not tall enough. So let's lower down. Can I zoom in? Here we go. Put something behind the camera to reflect the light off the bed. I don't know if that'll do it, but I'll put the same box behind it. It's worth a shot. A cam angle. That might be a little better. I don't know. It's almost like I need a mirror, like you said, to reflect, and that would reflect all the light instead of just a white box. It does seem like it's a little brighter though. I mean, like I said, I can cover that sucker up and then get real dark in here, but it's not going to fix the problem. Anywho, it's fine. Hey Bryce, how's it going? Print looks good. So far I don't really see a whole lot alarming. It might be elephant a little bit of the base. And honestly, I'm okay with it. It's not the end of the world. As small as a part that I'm printing, it's not going to be 100% perfect. A little bit's okay. Like, I'm not that concerned. That's what I did this time, is I put one part in the slice and then multiplied it. So that's what I started with earlier. When I did 4 earlier, and it went without a problem, and I did not change. I did not auto level the bed. I didn't do any of it. I literally turned the printer on, plugged it in, because I actually have it plugged in now to USB instead of the memory card. Because we're doing such short prints and we're troubleshooting, so I figured that was probably the safer option for short prints. What do you mean by a lot of them? How does it look? Oh, you mean if I put like 100 of them on there, how does it look? I haven't tried that yet. I'm doing 4. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't made it that far yet. I'm starting with just. I'm trying to get the settings on the printer correct first on small, like 4, to make sure that the quality and everything looks right first before I start multiplying it by like 100 and printing mass quantity of said items. But I can absolutely throw like 100 in there and look at it. And I see your point, the comment that you made, that if you throw it all in the and as a STL file, that the printer could confuse like what to do first. I absolutely see your point of view. Like I wouldn't have never thought of that because I've always done it that way. And I think the issues that I might have had, which is why I had to manually do it, was because I was fighting bed adhesion problems on the old printer. I believe when I started adding that brim to it that it wasn't connecting correctly. There was some reason on why it wasn't being very kosher on doing what I wanted it to do. So I just know that we had to change it. So that's the part. A little stringy at the very, 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 very top. And you can see that bottom slightly elephant footed. I mean, I'm nitpicking the crap out of it at this point. If the stringiness could just be my temperature, or it could be because I don't have the fan on. That's usually what that is, from my experience. I'm perfectly fine with that because, yeah, I'm 100% tickled to death with this. This looks, well, that's weird. I mean, I'm okay with it. Probably need to turn the fan back on. Yep, yep. It's one of those things. It's a double-edged sword. So, I probably need to put the fan on like what 10% or some small number. It's not gonna be. It won't need much. So let's go back into. Let's go back into Cura. We are going to add. Material. Speed. Travel. We'll go back to cooling. And let's do fan speed. Let's just do 20. Initial fan speed will be 0. Right here. Yep, that looks good. Yeah, I'm good with all that. I don't think I need to worry about reprinting. I've always done fan low at start and then take off after like 4 layers to help with bed adhesion. Are you saying just do 20% at the very beginning and just leave it at 20% for the whole prep? Okay. Okay. That's kind of what I thought. So back to your question. So let's go ahead and multiply this by, oh, I don't know. Let's do 40. Oh, not 99. Let's just do 20. Okay. Stop. Oh, 4. Okay, this is being dumb. 4, 0. Well. Okay. So now let's slice it. You're saying do 19. Let's preview it. Oh, I need to do layer 1. And then I mean, it's still not spiraling. It's going straight down the middle. There was an arrangement option Let me go back. And for your purpose, I cannot. Can I not select all these individually? This is gonna take forever. I always thought you could drag and make a box around them and delete them, but it's not gonna let me. So, delete. So, multiply, and the only option it gets is grid placement. And so, select, multiply, select item, and place them in a grid of build plate. So I had it on. Let's just try it off. So all that does is just makes them even closer. Weird. So if I slice that, just for shits and giggles, how does this look? It's still all over the place. It might be better. You know what? What's the worst case? It doesn't work? I do agree, though. Closer could be better, because it keeps all of the heat and everything together. But if it fails, it's going to fail miserably. I mean, it don't matter if it fails. It fails, it fails. So that's kind of a moot point at this point. So... somewhere right there. I'm tired, y'all. I haven't been sleeping good lately. I don't know why. I did download Pursia, by the way. I glanced at it and I got confused like stupid fast. And I'm like, nope, not for me, not today. I wasn't trying to do it without you being here to kind of help guide with like some suggestions and stuff. I'm like, screw it. I'm just gonna. I did it off camera, is what I did. So. Oh, I absolutely believe that. Is Orca Slicer free, by chance? I didn't even look at it, so. I mean, I don't mind downloading it either. Well, sounds like I'm going to download Orca Slicer then. Yeah, this tablet's so much easier to change between scenes. Like, this is, like, game-changing. Like, it it is absolutely amazing that somebody came up with this. Because this is what I was looking for the entire time to do with the other devices I was buying. So... Well, I'm going to tell you, it looks like they're all sticking. So far, it looks good. Nothing. Didn't do a thing. I told you, I shut the printer off and walked inside the other day and I said I quit. Didn't touch it yesterday. I played Rocket League when I got off work. And had to go help the wife because she quit her job at the barber shop. So I had to go help get all of her stuff out from where she was working at. And basically I was stressed out. So I said, screw it, I'm not touching the 3D printer today. I'm just going to let it sit. I'll come back out today. So the first thing I did is I walked out, turned the 3D printer on, took out the memory card, hooked it up via USB, programmed it to run 4, like what you said on your comment, to just do a single one item, multiply it by 3. So I had 4 items and hit print. Didn't change settings, did not do anything, I did not collect my $200 and did not go past go. Like, I just told it to print. And now it's working perfectly fine. Makes perfect sense. I told you, me and 3D printers have a very love-hate relationship. That is the prime example of what I was referring to. When the shit don't work, I just walk away from it. I did change the fan speed this time, so now it's doing 20%. No, it popped off! No! The stupid... How did that happen? I don't understand. What got it? Oh, it just popped another one off. Yep. So much for bragging about that one. Abort print. It got all boogery. Done fucked it up. That's what happened. It does not like running this in multiple prints. You know what? I'm being lazy. Hold on. Going to get my scraper. These things go absolutely everywhere, by the way. Because they're such a small part. Okay. Back to the drawing board. So you're saying increase the bed temp. Okay, let's try that. Material. Initial bed temp. We'll make it 210. But doesn't that create the elephant footing problem that I had? Oh, you said bed temp. I'm blind. I guess I could get away with probably. Let's do that, and we'll increase this to 70. That seems like an awful lot. And we'll change that to 65. Shrinkage. Hey, look, there's shrinkage. I thought elephant foot was a mixture of temperature and too close to the bed. Like it was a combination of both. Because if you over temp it, it'll melt it, and like it squishes it basically. Well, I guess it also does make sense that it's a first layer issue too. Yeah. Let's go ahead and let's try that. Slice. Print. Oh, you didn't see the settings I changed. Changed the temp to 210, and the bed is 70 degrees at startup. And where did that string come from? And 65 for print temp for the bed. So I increased everything just a little bit. I still think 210 is too much for PLA. It's like right now it's barely oozing out. Just sitting here trying to come up to temp, and it is at temp, but the bed's not. The slicer has compensation for elephant foot. I did not know that, actually. You can see it barely oozing out. Come here, string. Got it. I mean, the prime looks solid. It had a little booker in the middle of it, but that I think was because of the crap fell off of it from when it was warming up. But it's definitely staying 70 degrees. Yeah, it's staying at 210, 209, 210, and 70. So, and I mean, I have the speed turned way down. So, yeah, I agree that calibration for filaments makes a difference. I typically stay around 200, honestly. I haven't, though, like I said, this filament's old. I don't even know how old it is. So I could be chasing issues with just simply that I need to invest into a filament dryer. I've never seen the need for it, but I've also never printed enough to really justify owning one and truly, like, I understand that the PLA is going to soak in air, like the water, the moisture in the air. I get it. Um, the concept makes sense to me on why you want them. But every time I've done research on it, it makes it so that it almost looks like it blows bubbles out of the machine, and in your print it leaves bubbles or air pockets. So it makes your quality of your print become an issue. I that's the best way I can word it on what moisture is in your PLA. So you're saying the higher the temps are on the hot end, the more chance you turn moisture into steam and makes string or bulge. Okay. I can get behind that. I would have never thought of it from a moisture point of view. I would have always thought of it as you're just too far past the chemical compound of that particular plastic and what it wants, which is why it becomes stringy or bulgy or whatever the case is. That's why it, I'm saying, like, quote unquote, like, seeps out of the nozzle when it's warming up. I have always classified it as just over temp, not a moisture issue. But yeah, that's how I understood it. It creates small air pockets, but I thought it translates to how it prints, where it struggles because it starts like getting blotchy and starts spitting and sputtering because of the moisture, which usually translates to defects in your prints. I hope that makes sense on how I'm trying to explain it. That's the way that I understood it. Now, honestly, if you looked at one of these, if I can get it to show up on camera. Oh, you can't see that. I don't know if I can get it to focus with enough light. I don't know if you can see that part I put over there on the left, but the very left of it, really hard to see, but it almost looks like, let me get this to rotate. That might be better. I don't know if you can see the front edge looks like it's bubbly. That's where the Z hops were. That to me almost represents moisture. So you're saying it can create stringing and then the nozzle hits the little bump. I would agree with that. Sure. I mean, I can get behind that theory. Sure. I mean, this print's going to be... Oh, I guess it's not that bad. I didn't look to see what the print time was with only 20. It's 44 minutes, so it's going to run for 30 more minutes. I won't be here probably when that happens. So I'm going to turn the stream off once my wife gets home, which will be in like 10-15 minutes. We gotta go get the pupper. He had his nuts cut off. Because he's got cancer. Yeah, if it does. Well, yeah. I mean, you have a valid point. But it is currently on layer... Where am I at? It's past layer 1. I think it's on layer 3. It's one thing I wish this told me. Where I loved running Octoprint, it would tell you where you're at, and you can actually like see it. Where this doesn't do that, and to me that's like a big. After using Octoprint for a long time, I got very spoiled with what it did and didn't do. I really enjoyed Octoprint. I mean, I probably could get that set up for this rig. I just don't have a need for it yet. Octoprint's awesome, by the way. I don't suspect I'm going to have a failure at this point. If it's made it this far and it's not knocked one off... install Clipper on this thing. Oh, I don't. You and what is everybody's deal with Clipper? I've never wanted to do it. I think it's also because I don't understand it. Hey, thanks for the wonderful spam colossage appendage. Gotta love people on Twitch. I mean, Marlin is such a... I don't want to say established, but that's almost the word I'm looking for. It's like the Old Faithful of the community. It functions, it does what it's supposed to do, and it just works. I understand Clipper is like the new thing. I also understand it's supposed to be faster. I'm just happy that this printer's actually functioning. So throwing Clipper on it on this printer might not be a good thing. And that's the issues that I have with this specific printer. This printer doesn't have a Z-stop switch, limit switch. It uses the stupid Creality fucking Z offset auto leveler thing to do everything. I don't like this software. I despise this software, actually. Give me the standard XYZ printers. I'm all day long. Those things are workhorses. Okay. So you're basically saying install Clipper. We'll do that on stream. Won't be today, but we'll probably do that next. Because if I'm gonna change slicing tools and change the software on the printer, then I might as well do it now before I get truly invested into the R&D side of what I'm doing. Like right now, I'm wasting time if I'm just going to sit here and change it all. I'm not spending any more money on Creality. No, I wouldn't do that. That's stupid. SonicPad's no different than Octoprint. And I could set up Octoprint to run this machine. Like, it wouldn't be that hard. I still have all the stuff for my CR10, because I run the CR10, like I said, this is in my garage. So this is where I do my YouTube videos, this is where I do my RC cars, this is my RC car workbench. This is where I do my YouTube videos on. This is where I do all my work when it comes to anything hobby related. So behind it is my CR10, which is back behind it, like another 6 feet behind it. And I ran the CR10 in a greenhouse enclosure, like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a polymer, aluminum foil lined, like grow pot, whatever, like grow room. And I put the printer inside it to control the heat. And the control module is outside of it. And I run Octoprint to run it with my computer inside. So, just like technically, I can run my computer from inside. This computer here that I'm talking on, I can control it from my computer on the inside too. I've got remote desktop set up where I can go and do everything remotely. Yeah, Pies. I mean, I've got Pies. I actually have a Pi sitting on my computer desk in the living room that I haven't touched, and I bought it probably almost a year ago. I bought it for the new printer that's on my my other printer's on my Solvo SV01 is on my computer desk in the living room. That's where my other printer is. That's my good printer. So I bought Octoprint to run that one because I enjoy being able to remotely control the printer from anywhere, and I've established how to do that with my phone and set up the VPNs and everything so I can get to it remotely. And then I have it on a Alexa power switch, so if something happens, I can just shut off the power remotely as well. It's really cool. So I can actually turn on the printer remotely, I can turn it off remotely, and I can tell it to do any feature remotely with Octoprint on a Pi. Raspberry Pis are extremely powerful tools if you understand some basic concepts with them and what their limitations are. They're amazing products for what they are. Absolutely amazing. I feel like stopped up today. I don't know why. I wish they made the app that you can control them from your tablets. Speaking of, you can actually see the tablet screen. This thing's awesome. Like, I want to change a mode. So, for example, I want to go to digital SLR. Let me go back to webcam. This is a $50, like, 11-inch tablet I bought off Amazon. But if I want to switch modes, all I gotta do is click. Oh, I'm holding the screen, that's why it didn't work. Click. Changes modes. Oh, it popped off the bed! It pulled it off. It was stuck to the nozzle. That means the temp's too high. Oh. Abort print. Good run. But it got boogered. Boogered up. I mean, the rest of them, they're pretty stuck. Ooh, that bed's a little toasty. The 3D printing can be fun. It's also extreme. It's a very rewarding and a very... What's the word I'm looking for? It has its moments where it's amazing, and then it has its times where it's the most frustrating thing you'll ever deal with. It's stupid, is what it is. But whatever. Okay, so we want to lower our temps back down. So go over here. Change temps. I think I'll leave initial layer at 210. But I was printing at 200 for the rest of it. So we're saying 190. And so what, 190 and 200? Stupid keyboard. Stupid keyboard. Stop double punching. So you want me to leave the initial print layer at 210? Or should I lower that down to 200? Leave the rest of it alone and just change the print temp to 190. Oh, you're saying first layer 190. Okay. I'll change it real fast. First layer 190. And first layer bed is 70. It was already set 70, and then I left it at 65 for the rest of the print, which is probably still warm. Okay, so we'll do 190 across the board, 65 for build layer temp, first layer of the build plate is 70. Then have the bed lower and print it. So you're saying print it cooler for the first layer. Okay. We'll go 210. Oh, 200. Nope. 200. There we go. Slice. Print. Yeah, I don't disagree with what you're asking. I just would have done it the other way around, where I would have asked it to print hotter at first and cool down as it goes up. I would have never thought to try printing a little cooler as a first layer, but I also understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to get the plastic to harden faster when it hits the bed, and you're trying to get the bed to hold on to the plastic by staying warm. Like it makes sense. I just would have never thought of it. That's what I'm saying. I've always usually just tinkered around with it a little bit. I mean, shrinkage is a problem. I mean, we all know shrinkage exists. I think I heard that clicking you were asking about, and I don't know what that was. It almost sounded like the extruder, but I don't think it was. I think it might have been the cable connecting the machine to the bed, stretching out. Like, it's right at its limits, because it don't go... I don't... It's new. It hasn't been moved. That one struggled. I'm gonna let that go, but that don't look good. I bet that fails. That one don't look good either. Well, it printed... that one's questionable. Oh, sorry. I mean, you can't see anyway. It don't matter what angle I have. You just can't see. I see two that are boogery. I bet it'll... I'll see on layer 2. If it makes it past layer 2, I think it'll be okay. I really do. I almost think Z-Hop was turned off. So this is layer 2, and I'll tell you when it hits it. I think it's the next one. Yep. It might survive. That's the next one that's boogered up. And it survived that one. Interesting. Okay. Wife got home. I have a bunch of different filament, but it's all old. I'm gonna go AFK. I'm gonna leave her running. And I'm gonna go pick up the dog. And then I'll be back. uh, oh well. It works if I do 4 at a time. But at Z, it shifted. It's weird. Um, whatever. I'm gonna go. We're gonna cancel the stream, and I'm gonna go take care of the dog. We got him back home. $1,000 later. So, I could try. I could. I'm not going to today. I could though. So, it's cheap generic PLA from Amazon. But yeah, we'll pick this up tomorrow. We'll start with doing the same thing. We'll start with like 4 and try that, and then we will go from there and see how things go. So